Next question, and this is the exciting one.
Yeah, this
We're
is
gonna
a very
tell you
recent.
all of our secret why we haven't been posting. Where we're at now is
1, 2, 3.
hello.
Hello.
Welcome back if you've been here before. This is our Q&A, and thank you so much if you submitted questions. We got about 20. We are going to jump right in, and hopefully you get to know us a little bit better, because I feel like our channel is mostly just our travels, but you don't really know exactly who we are. So we're gonna spill
The beans.
the coffee beans. Starting out soft, what are your 2023 travel plans?
2023. New
The
year.
year we're in.
Yeah. I think every year we try to make at least a rough outline of what we want to do. Nothing is ever really set in stone, of course, until you buy that plane ticket or you book those reservations.
So the only thing that we have tickets bought for and we will be going to is a Taylor Swift concert in July. We're gonna actually film a Seattle video while we're there, so we're very excited about that. We know that we're gonna have some videos for Costa Rica, Portugal, Italy.
Yeah, we still have a lot of videos we need to post.
In the second half of 2023, we have pretty much decided, as
Plans,
long
yeah.
as everything works out, where we want to go. So there's actually been questions about this before. Why have you guys not been to Asia?
It's just another part of the world that we have yet to even dip our toes into. We're very excited.
The only country that we're pretty much dead set on is Vietnam. We want to do a river cruise. We want to see Ho Chi Minh City and eat all the street food for sure. We're thinking about the Philippines. We're thinking about Thailand. We don't know yet. We thought about Singapore, like doing a quick 2-day layover in Singapore or something. Question number 2, what do you both do for work?
Yeah, I can start. So I work in IT. I'm an IT analyst. I basically work on servers. I'll work on clients. It's been really nice. I love it. It's right up my alley. I love tech. I love all things IT and networking.
And I'm a nurse. I've mentioned it a couple times on the channel, but I mean, I don't talk about it that often. I work PRN, which means per diem or as needed. This is basically the ideal job to travel with. I make my own schedule, and I just transitioned into more of a desk job side of nursing, which is kind of crazy to think about. I was an ICU nurse for about 3 years, and I'm basically transitioning away from that for now. I have a feeling I'll be going back to the ICU eventually. I love it. That's why I have been able to travel a little bit more than Christian, is because my job is much more flexible. It really is kind of up to me when I work, which is nice, but I wish obviously there was a PRN
IT job.
IT job. Our goal is to become contract workers. That way we can work 6 months, take 6 months off. How do you find time off work to travel? That basically just got answered.
It just depends on how much time off we have. I will say in the past Christian, before I established my career, I would just, quit a job. I won't say how many, I've had like 5 to 10 jobs. A lot of saving, a lot of job hopping.
So luckily I had that PRN job the entire time he was doing this, so we always had I don't want to say a backup plan because it was the original plan, but we always had my job to fall back on if he couldn't find something right when we got back or whatever. So it always worked out really well. And I don't know if that's something that I want to recommend, but we had stability with at least my career and the flexibility with it. So we just went with it, and it was great. We really loved it, but it is time to become adults a little bit more. But now with his more established career, he gets 30 days off a year, which is great. Just starting out with a job, like he gets 30 days right off the bat, and obviously I'm still PRN. Moving on, how do you reduce stress while traveling? Are your activities planned or spontaneous? We're a little mix of both.
Yeah, we're definitely a mix of both.
Yeah. The biggest thing that we'll book ahead of time is excursions ahead of time, because they'll sell out, especially when you go to a popular spot. I buy tickets for museums and things ahead of time.
As we've traveled more and more, we've started to realize leaving time for extra things is more important, because originally when we started, we were like, okay, like we need a set schedule. We need to figure out where we're going this day, this day, this day.
Wandering around cities,
Yeah.
like getting lost in between the buildings is one of my favorite things. Just walking around. The next question is, how do you split up the YouTube channel?
In terms of splitting up, it's pretty simple. I pretty much manage all of the camera stuff. I do all the drone, all the camera shots. Yeah, so everything at the front side is me, and then everything in post-production is you.
I do everything when it comes to editing, sound. I organize files at the end of the day when we're filming, like actively recording. I don't do a lot with recording. Obviously, there's trips I've taken by myself, which I do all the recording and all. Obviously.
Yeah, not to say that she can't do it.
Yeah,
she definitely can.
Yeah, I definitely could.
I'm still getting into it. I really want to learn how to edit. I would love to learn how to do some of those sorts of things to make her life easier as well.
All right, how do you do this on a budget?
Yeah, budgets are fun.
Budgets are, I'd say, my thing.
Yeah,
I would say I do most of the planning and budgeting.
Yeah, I think that's one of Ashley's favorite parts.
I do love it. I love making itineraries and finding like the most budget conscious way, but also the most fun way to get around and do things. Booking early for things you know you want to do saves money. Weighing a hotel versus an Airbnb. Having a kitchen in an Airbnb will help. Food expenses. Europe is really great because of all the smaller flights around Europe you can take. So Ryanair, Wizz Air, what are some of the other ones? Pegasus, here on the east side of Europe. They're all super cheap flights. So we will be able to get around country to country for $20 to $30, whether it's a train or a flight. We'll stay in hostels in more expensive cities.
I think this is a really deep topic, honestly. If you wanted us to make a video just on this,
we can.
We definitely can, because there's so much that goes into planning a trip. You can save a lot of money using credit cards. Travel
completely
hacking. There's like a whole section that we could dedicate to this whole part.
Yeah, credit card hacking, that's a huge thing, using
that's
points
a pretty
and miles.
recent one for us too.
Yeah, it started like 23, 24, like a year ago or a year or two ago. I will say budgeting for a trip starts the second you get back from your last one.
Yeah.
For example, grocery stores, we love the clearance aisle, the beat up boxes.
Yeah.
We love Facebook furniture.
Yeah, there's a lot of
open box items. It's hard on a day-to-day basis when you have a trip 6 months out to think I need to be saving for this specific thing when you want something. The instant gratification is hard to turn down sometimes, but you just have to remember the bigger picture, which is your trip. Next question. This is a very common question I feel like in Q&As. Favorite and least favorite place that we've been?
Least favorite? I don't like to make least favorites. I would say that generally when you think of some place that's like your least favorite, it's because something maybe bad happened to you. For me, my least favorite, and Ashley already knows this, was when we were in Naples, which is in Italy. But I love Italy. Back in 2017 or 2017.
2017.
Or was it 2019?
No, it was 2017.
So back in 2017, when we were in Naples on a train going to, I believe, Sorrento, my bag got stolen. I was completely oblivious. I was not even looking at my bag, and it was kind of more or less unattended, and it got stolen, which is completely my fault, right? But I got kind of irrationally mad.
So that was his first trip out of the country. It was a lot, and we did a summer in Europe that we didn't vlog. This was long before the vlog. And this was our second stop. And I remember vividly in that moment we were sitting there, and he said, I hate Italy, we're never coming back.
Yeah.
And we've been back to Italy 3 times. It's just a place. It's a memory usually that makes something your least favorite.
Exactly.
For me, it's Tulum.
Okay.
Luckily, we haven't had a lot of really shady things happen in general. We had just come from, did we just come from Holbox or Valladolid? Either way, we just came from somewhere in Mexico that we fell in love with, and so comparing that to Tulum, it wasn't the best. We didn't have the greatest time.
This is sketchy. No, this is scary.
More of a party city.
Yeah, and
city.
we had gone. We just didn't have the best time. And I think that by itself, like if we had just gone to Tulum, we would have probably had a great trip and loved it. But because we were comparing it to Isla Mujeres and Holbox and Valladolid and all these other amazing places in Mexico that we just went to, it was kind of hard to get in the Tulum mindset. So that was my least favorite.
Let's get into the fun stuff though. Our favorite place. So my favorite country was Iceland. We went on a trip here actually pretty recently. We decided to van trip it, so that was really cool. And we drove it all around the island. So gorgeous, it was breathtaking. I feel like every single turn we took, there was something that was just as cool as the last thing.
We cannot wait to go back. I loved it as well. It's the freedom you feel doing the van life thing. It was our first van life experience.
But looking back, I would do that trip
1,000 times over.
1,000 times over. Because we saw puffins, we saw a volcano. Which
we went to the volcano eruption.
Insane. Like, not a lot of places in the world you can see an active volcano. We saw one of those. Hot springs. We ate shark. Like, that was interesting. I'll let you lead into your favorite.
Oh, I haven't even said my favorite. My favorite.
Yeah. Spill it.
Favorite.
Spill
That's
the
such
beans.
a big...
You know what it is. You don't need to say it.
I still have to go with Switzerland.
Yep.
I mean, can't beat the mountains there. I mean, you can't.
No, I agree.
You can't beat the Interlaken area, the connectivity of all the lifts and gondolas and everything.
There's nothing that can really compare to Interlaken. If you guys haven't been, put that at the top of your list.
The reason I love it so much is you can hop on a train at Interlaken, make it up to Grindelwald, hop on a lift there, go somewhere else, get on another cable car that takes you to the other side of the mountain, then you can take a train back down another, like our own version of Disney World, because they're just all day we're on trains and gondolas and everything, and we could just spend endless amounts of time there, and we keep going back. It's the mountains, it's the landscapes. Everyone that we've met there and I've met there has been some of the kindest people, most welcoming. But I feel like once we hit Southeast Asia and Asia in general, we're gonna get some new
I hope.
competition up there. Favorite place for a relaxing and fun combo? I feel like we have the same answer on
Yep.
this. 1, 2, 3.
Mexico.
Okay. I was like, we keep going back there too, so that should say something. Our favorite thing to do is basically go run around like crazy within cities and mountains and different beach towns and do all the fun things, and then spend the last couple days laying on the beach doing nothing. Mexico has everything. It has a big city, it has mountains, plenty of beaches. Mexico, food, people.
Oh my gosh, food.
This is a question that we got a lot, and this is something that's also asked in our real life a lot, all the time actually. And it is, do you guys think you'll have kids?
Short answer, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we don't know.
I don't know. We're on the fence. I wouldn't say that we're definitely yes or definitely no. We're kind of more in the middle.
We know more often.
The only boundary we have right now actually is our dog, so like that's already a lot. So
But she
having
loves
a kid,
Grandma and Nana.
Yeah.
Both of her grandmas are her favorite person in the world, so maybe they jumped our fence.
Speaking of the child, there's
Speaking
our dog.
of our dog, actually we got a question on our videos. Come here.
Hello.
We
This
got
is
a
Ella.
question on our video a while ago. Somebody asked if we still had our dog. Absolutely, this is
Yeah.
our child.
We'll just leave it at that because we could dive into this for probably a while and talk about all sorts of reasons why yes, why no, but ultimately we're not really in a position in our lives to like.
Make a decision. It's a huge commitment.
I'm 26, Ashley's 25, plenty of time.
It's not something right now that we feel drawn to, and we are very knowledgeable about the fact that might change. The second part of that question was actually, will you keep traveling? And absolutely yes.
Yep.
That is actually one of the reasons we've talked about having a kid, is getting to see these places for the first time through a child's eyes, getting to share this world with somebody else. Next question is, are you traveling full time right now?
No, we're not.
This leads into the next question too. We'll combine them. Are your videos real time? We would frequently take 6-7 weeks off work, go travel, and come back, and I would start editing, and we'd
We
post them.
generally make videos like every day when we're traveling too. It's not like we're taking days off or weeks off. And we love that. We love to be on the camera while we're traveling. Keeps us in check.
Basically pushes us to do more than we would have without it.
Yeah.
No, we are not full-time traveling. We actually have a house that we're going to get into in a minute. 'Cause
Yes.
It's very exciting, I swear. Stick
Where
around.
we are right now.
And are your videos real time? No, right now I'm catching up Europe, our last Europe trip. We have a few more. I took a couple not solo trips, but with my parents that I vlogged. So those will be coming out.
We would love to be real time. I would love that.
Yeah. What camera gear do you have? This is a fun one. So we're filming on a Sony A6400.
Yeah.
We have a 10 to 18 millimeter lens that's on it, and a mic.
The Rode Video Micro Pro.
This is our favorite lens.
And then the 18 to 105. And then we recently just purchased a new child. We like to call it a child because he's so
heavy.
big. It's like the size of one.
So this has to do with where we're living right now that we're gonna get into in a minute, but we did buy.
We bought a 200 to 600 millimeter lens. It is great. It is primarily obviously for photos. I wouldn't say you would want to be doing a lot of videoing on this unless the subject that you're looking at is very slow. I think Sony is a very good video camera, not necessarily just a picture camera.
We use this little tripod. This is a Joby. We actually need a new one because this one has seen better days. Carrying the weight of it all the time, I think, was a lot on
Yeah.
it. I would recommend this camera for anyone wanting to vlog. We actually started with a A6000 and upgraded to this a couple years ago, but it's been a great camera.
And for drone, we use a DJI Mavic Air 2S. I don't know what the S means, but
it the-
recent upgrade. We used to use a DJI Mavic Air, and it was actually the first generation. And then just the old simple GoPro, so GoPro Black 8. Yeah, and they make a new one of these every year, and honestly, it's generally almost the same thing, just with small minor upgrades. It shoots 4K.
We aren't going to upgrade it till it dies, basically. My technology is a MacBook Pro 16-inch. I use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit. I've used that. I tried out, what's the other one called? Final Cut.
Final Cut.
I used Final Cut for the first 6 months and tried it out, and then my trial expired, so I switched to Adobe Premiere, and that's where I've been ever since. I don't want to call it user-friendly, because to really get the most out of it, you have to learn a bit more about it.
She has not taken a single course or taken any sort of lessons or taken a college class. She has learned all from,
I'd say like
She's learned all from just scratch. She hasn't really done any,
I feel like I could benefit from a lesson. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I could benefit from a lesson, but yeah, everything that I need to take like a YouTube
give her a
course.
little round of applause.
Everything that I've learned, I've taught myself from just figuring it out, or the YouTube videos, the little tutorials in Adobe. So I actually had a dream last night that I lost my computer, lost all the projects I'm working on, and lost all the footage that's only on this.
Yeah, that's a true nightmare for us.
Oh, we also have a bunch of hard drives. We have 4 hard drives now.
Yep,
2
we use the
terabyte.
Western Digital one.
I like those. I've never had a hard drive crash or anything. I have everything backed up on 2 things though, so I have a backup of everything. I have a backup of every backup.
That's all of our technology.
Next question, and this is the exciting one.
Yeah, this
We're
is a
gonna
very
tell you
recent.
all of our secrets.
Yes, this is very recent. I'm talking like out of this past week recent.
Yeah.
And
That's why we haven't been posting.
where we're at now, it's kind of like its own little travel
And
thing.
where we're at now is
1, 2, 3.
Alaska. We just moved to Alaska. So we're living here. This is our house.
Yep.
Christian's job brought us here, and we're so excited. So we're gonna be here for at least 3 years. That's not gonna change that much on the channel though, because we still have all of these international travel plans that are gonna be posted, but it does mean that there's gonna be a lot of Alaska content too. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of questions that we got when we told family and friends that we're moving up here. And just to debunk a little bit, we can do a whole video on living in Alaska too. But
Yeah.
main things is we have Target, we have Walmart, we have all the big box stores in Anchorage. It's not that cold here. It's cold, but Anchorage is pretty mild,
Yeah, or dry, not as much humidity or moisture in the air. So
which makes the winters a little bit more bearable because where we're from in the Midwest, 20 degrees there was excruciatingly painful because of the wet cold, where here 20 outside I can walk around in a little jacket and honestly it doesn't feel that bad. It's not dark all the time, it's not light all the time. Like we're
There's
living in a
lot
big
of-
city.
You'll definitely be seeing a lot of videos in Alaska in the future. We have so much planned. We have so many things that we want to do, and we can't wait to share them with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we have, I think, 400 hikes within 2 hours of us or something like that. So we have a lot to do and record, and we're just so excited for this adventure. Like I said, it's not really going to change our international travel plans. It just happens to be where we're flying out of now. Going off of that, we actually had some people that follow our travel account as well as our personal account, so they already knew. And we had a question that was, how did you get ready for a cross-country move?
A lot. A lot. Imagine picking up your whole life and moving 4,800 miles away. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of hours spent researching and preparing.
Basically, we had movers come and take all of our stuff, which we still do not have. Hence why we're at this table. This is loaner furniture. But we don't have any of our stuff still, and it left a month ago, a month and a half ago almost. I shipped my car. We drove our other car, which driving that up the Alaska highway was an experience. But, of course, we vlogged it. We have 4 videos from it.
We have plenty of footage to show you guys what it's like driving the Alps.
Oh, next question. It's a funny question. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
It says, are you going to go Bigfoot hunting in Alaska? Sure.
Sure.
Absolutely. We're going to do everything in Alaska.
So far, being in Alaska, we have seen moose. We have seen many moose. We've seen eagles. And we've seen
Elk,
caribou,
fox. We're waiting to see bears. So it's winter, so I know they're not as active. But our neighborhood has bears that live in it. Like
And
they
moose.
live in this neighborhood. Yeah, and we saw the moose last night. Driving home, there was a moose just chilling on the side of the road. We're like, very normal. Okay. And then the last question, which wasn't actually submitted as part of the Q&A, but we've actually gotten it a couple times on our channel, which is interesting that we've gotten it so many times. And that is, are you married?
Yeah, show.
We're married.
We're married.
We're married.
Get that ring close.
We've been married for almost 4 years.
Yeah, we've been married for 4, dating for...
We've been together for 11 years this year and married for almost 4. So yes, we are very married. And like we mentioned earlier, we already kind of gave this answer away, but we did start the vlog on our honeymoon.
Anyway, so that is all the questions that you guys had for us. We love doing these videos. Thanks for all the questions.
We're really excited for this upcoming year, as well as everything we're going to be posting on our channel. We have a lot to post, a lot to travel, a lot to do. And that's it. I mean, tomorrow we're planning on doing some little hiking, winter hiking in the area. Went to the library yesterday. So personally, we're just excited to explore a new city and share it eventually with you guys once we feel confident enough in the area to do so.
If you guys have any more questions, you can put them down in the comments. You're more than welcome to. We'll try to answer them. But other than that, we'll see you on our next video, which will be...
We're going to finish up Bulgaria next.
Peace.